one of the things I think is most amazing on the Mayros is that we actually found a complete cod skeleton, except was without the head, okay? And it's Newfoundland cod, as you can find out in our new exhibition. But one odd demonstration we're going to do now is that someone has asked us, could they possibly have eaten fish fingers in Tudor times, okay? I'm absolutely sure they didn't have fish fingers in Tudor times, but could they have prepared them? So, we're going to see what it would have been like. So, they need to get a fish, and they need to be a real expert at filleting, like what I am. Okay, so you just fillet it away like that. Look at the speed I filleted that fish. Okay, and yeah, we found a complete cod skeleton like that on the Mayros. You can see it down in the lower decks of the ship. I mean, just amazing to have found a complete skeleton. So we filleted the fish really expertly in our attempt to see if we could make fish fingers. So now we've got this absolutely beautiful bit of cod. Okay, and as I said, we found out from the latest research that the cod is Newfoundland cod, so even in Tudor days it would have come from that far away. So let's cut it into a nice little piece like a fish finger. Okay, but let's make 2 fish fingers. So as I said, I'm sure they didn't have these in Tudor times, but and don't try this at home, kids, but this is making up our fish fingers. So we've got 2 nice fish fingers there. The next thing we do is to get some flour. So we actually found on board a complete bread trough. Well, it was a bit broken, but downstairs in the Mayros Museum you can see a bread trough. So if we just get some of that flour, okay, so making our Tudor fish fingers, we get our fish fingers. First we dip them in flour, okay, then we dip them in beaten egg, so we can get an egg. Real master chef stuff this, isn't it? Beat that up. Sorry, I'm not a posh enough cook to have had a fork. In fact, they didn't have forks so much in those days anyway. They had spoons and they had knives. So we got our beaten egg. So we get our fish finger in flour. We then put it in some beaten egg. And then, we don't want the flour, so we'll get rid of that. Then here are some breadcrumbs. They certainly would have had fish in those days. They would have had eggs, they would have had flour. So here's some breadcrumbs that we prepared earlier. So here are some lovely golden breadcrumbs. We have even baked bread in this oven. And then we get our fish finger and we cover it in breadcrumbs. There, doesn't that look like a lovely fish finger? Oh, I needed some, coat that in egg as well. Coat that in breadcrumbs. And these are breadcrumbs that we've fried a bit earlier in the front of the fire. So don't those look like lovely fish fingers? Would you like them as fish fingers? Yes, oh, you are a perfect heroine. Okay, so we get our fish fingers and then we try our really clever bit, which is we get a skillet just like the ones we found on the Mayros that we've been heating up in front of the fire. Okay, so that's actually a cauldron, but you can see we've got this skillet. Okay, and we can get our fish fingers, and we're not going to bake them like you probably should do, but we're going to fry them, fried fish fingers. And just listen when I put this into the skillet. Ooh, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you hear that frying away? Isn't that great? So, here we've got, just using the heat from that fire, can you see we've got 2 absolutely yummy fish fingers frying away. So we'll turn them over. Oh, have I cooked them too quickly? Look at that. Wouldn't Birdseye in Iceland be pleased with that? Okay. So that's cooking away there. We could put it on our cook's stool, found with all the other cook's items, okay? And it even has cut marks in it, possibly from the knife that we found near to the cook's stool. You see all those cut marks? But now, this is in real Saturday kitchen fashion. We get our fish fingers, and we should serve them on a platter. So what do you think of that? So, Tudor fish fingers. I'm sure they didn't have these on the Melrose, but at least we proved to the person who asked us that we could actually cook fish fingers in Tudor times, even if they didn't. But thank you very much.